The sea's not going anywhere.
Let's hope you put up a good fight. Come on! Show me your courage!
course. No one's gonna miss out on the chance to welcome our heroes back from battle. It's their moment of glory. Kachina's gonna be so flustered. She's never had this many eyes on her before.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who likes being the center of attention.
Looks like I'm just in time.
Kanich, you're here!
Yeah, a commission ran longer than expected, but I made it. I heard about the incident with your tribe, Mualani. Is everyone all right?
Yeah, it's all taken care of. Our new friend here's got some tricks up her sleeve, by the way. She's just as strong as Kachina made her out to be.
Hey, look! Is it about to start?
That's right. Someone will come out and recite a eulogy, and then we'll sing the Ode of Resurrection together. Come on, let's find a spot with a good view. Let's go somewhere higher up so Kachina can spot.
Warriors of Netland, heed the call of life. We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny. That is Netland's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
I could not find Kachina within the Night Kingdom, or locate her ancient name.
What?
What is that?
Usually once the ode is complete, the Pyro Archon and resurrected person will emerge from the flames. But
What's going on? This has never happened before.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Clearly, the team said, think about it. Since the Archon couldn't find Kachina in the Night Kingdom, that must mean there's more to this victory.
Hey! You just haven't gotten over the fact that Kachina—
pathetic.
Your wild guesses are misplaced. We can—
Maybe you did, but who's to say whether that little girl even could chip? Why would the YUB recognize someone like her, even if she was on the winning team?
How dare you insult a Kachina sacrificed herself to repel the abyss! She doesn't deserve to be
Calm down, Mualani. There's no point.
I can't just sit here and let them slander her.
To insult a hero of Netland, the person actually has to be a hero.
You...
Think about it, everyone. Who do you think is really or the great Pyro Archon? Why would the rules of our nation...
That's true. Maybe the YUB interpret victory in different ways?
I mean, that girl didn't look all that strong.
Kachina wouldn't have run! That's not what—
No! She's been waiting for this moment, no matter how daunting the situation. We don't even know what happened. So don't you dare try to use this—
Fine. We'll find...
That's enough. There is no doubt about today's victory. However, the failure of today's ceremony is undeniable. Kachina has not been rekindled, and I offer you all my deep... To prevent further casualties, I have decided to suspend the pilgrimage until this...
What?
No one is all-knowing. No one is infallible, but doubt is a means by which we seek the truth. If there are things you wish to clarify...
No,
Even though I have said
That guy doesn't even have the courage to answer the Pyro Archon's...
I have a question, Archon. My friend Kachina. Do you have... I know you said you were investigating...
I've already shared everything I know. If you... So,
Of course I'll join.
in that case, come...
We should join them.
Oh, and if it's not too much, rest assured, everyone. Once again, I apologize.
Did she just...
I believe she did.
The situation is urgent, so I'll get straight to the point. Kachina is undoubtedly a hero of Netland, and I'm deeply sorry this happened to her. There's been unrest in the Night Kingdom, but I don't know what's causing it. As a result, until we find and address the cause of the unrest, the Ode of Resurrection will continue to be ineffective.
And that means Kachina won't be able to come back?
That's correct. Not until the problem with the Night Kingdom is
How long will that take?
It's hard to say.
Kachina always dreamed of fighting the Abyss. She wasn't afraid of death because whenever we sat down together, exhausted from training, she would always hum the Ode of Resurrection. She was supposed to come back to us. We were supposed to hug her and celebrate with her and share her joy. We supported her every step of the way, but what are we supposed to do now? Sit peacefully and wait for her return?
That's not fair.
It's all right. I understand your rage and your grief. Believe me, I want to bring her back as soon as possible. I would give you that peace of mind if I could. But please, hear what I have to say so I can at least give you a broader picture of the issue we are now facing. Considering the recent attack on your tribe, I believe the Abyss has found a new means of undermining the rules of our...
You mean...
The Sacred Flame. The foundation of our resistance against the Abyss. If we continue to hold the pilgrimage and send teams to fight the Abyss, there will likely be more casualties. But if we stop altogether, the Sacred Flame will only grow weaker. The Abyss will scale up their attacks, and the tragedy we saw with the people of the Springs will only be the first of many.
If we compare the two choices, the former seems to be the lesser of two evils. Sorry, I know that may sound harsh, but I bear the name Malipo. Weighing the costs is the raw truth can be cruel. But we need to understand it if we want to approach this rationally.
But what would you say, Mualani?
No. I can't choose between them, and I don't want to. Saying that one is preferable over the other is disrespectful to the people who suffered.
You're saying it doesn't matter whether I suspend the pilgrimage. The consequences will be equally painful.
Yes. What happened to Kachina breaks my heart. But I couldn't bring myself to sacrifice other people for her sake.
And that is the crux of the problem. It's not simply a matter of choosing the lesser of two evils. Either way, there will be people who suffer. And the end result will be the same. Belief in the pilgrimage will waver. Once doubt has crept in, the people will no longer unite in battle against the Abyss. And that is exactly what the Abyss want. Their ultimate goal isn't to break the rules that make the Ode of Resurrection work. It's to destroy the people's faith in them. To prevent what happened to Kachina from happening to anyone else, we need to suspend the pilgrimage. So that is my current plan. And in the meantime, I've made efforts to strengthen each tribe's defenses. Then, we have to find another way of strengthening the Sacred Flame to keep the Abyss at bay. This won't be easy. I'll need time to figure out the best of... I understand your anger, Mualani. But I hope that provided some clarity, at least.
Wow. Hyman thought things were gonna get heated for a second, but...
I owe you an apology, Archon. I let myself get carried away earlier, and I'm sorry. You're right. We need to focus on finding solutions.
We could always hold the pilgrimage without sending a team to fight in the Night Warden Wars. That way, we would still be able to fuel the Sacred Flame.
I've considered that, but the two events have nearly always been linked. Without the chance to fight the Abyss, pilgrimage rankings lose their prestige, and competitor numbers will drop. With fewer participants, the amount of contending fire produced will decrease, and the vicious cycle will continue indefinitely.
So, essentially, the Abyss is...
You've learned about the concept of ley lines during your travels, yes? The Night Kingdom is something similar. Staying there for a short period of time shouldn't have an effect on the person. But with the Abyss in the picture, it's a different story. Your sense of self will be devoured, until eventually you become one with the Sea of Souls. Imagine pouring a cup of water into a rushing river. You can try to scoop up another cup, but there's no chance it will be the same water you had before. I won't sugarcoat it. That is the danger Kachina is currently facing.
Just like you said, Archon. Both of these problems need to be addressed. You can focus all your efforts on dealing with the Sacred Flame. I will go search for...
The Abyss poses the same threat to you as it does to her. It is very possible you will...
Kachina's waiting for us to rescue her. That's all that...
I failed to protect her during our campaign, but I can make it up to her now. I choose to go...
Traveler? What do you think?
Understood. Then I'll support you, and the Masters of the Nightwind have a technique that can extract an ancient name from the ley lines. If we can find Kachina's ancient name, I can use the link between them to pinpoint her position within the Night Kingdom. Then comes the hard part. You need to visit the Night Kingdom in person and rescue her.
But isn't the Night Kingdom a land of souls?
Under normal circumstances, only the consciousness can enter. But there is a way to go there in person. However, know that the Night Kingdom will attempt to repel you, and the Abyss certainly won't leave you be.
That's fine by me.
Same here. Fighting the Abyss is nothing new for me.
So, Paimon's the only one who's scared?
Citlali of the Masters of the Nightwind once created an artifact that can be used to communicate with the Wyab. We call it the Spirit Speaker Stone. It was originally used as a ceremonial artifact wielded by the tribal chiefs. But that spiritual quality also means it can be used to search for an ancient name.
That was the artifact I delivered to the Scions of the Canopy a few days ago. Didn't think I'd be hearing about it again so soon.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
Your thanks are unnecessary. I will offer you whatever aid I can, but your fellowship and courage are what will truly decide the success of this operation. Besides, you're the ones helping me. I can only focus on one thing at a time after... Traveler, I certainly didn't expect our first conversation to be so serious. I've heard all about your accomplishments. Ever since you arrived, I've been hoping to meet you and offer you Netland's highest level of hospitality. Why? Is that not what happened in the other nations you visited?
Yeah, things were pretty complicated at the start. And, in the middle.
That's more like it. After all, I've heard you're perhaps even more than you can imagine. But we can talk about that some other time. Ideally, this would be the perfect night for a drink and some...
Oh, I almost forgot. Atea was wounded in the fight against the Abyss. She wanted us to give this to you. It embodies fond memories and my strength of will. That's what she asked us to tell you. She said you'd know what that means.
I didn't think this day would come so soon. The flames of her life force... I can feel them flowing within the talisman. If things were different, the two of us could have enjoyed the hot springs together while she gave this to me in person. We're supposed to be hot spring buddies after all. But don't worry. This talisman means a great deal to me. I'll take good care of it. And once this is all over, I'll pay Atea a visit.
You said you didn't want to jeopardize the production of contending fire. But that's not at all why you decided to suspend the pilgrimage.
You're right. Even now, the production of contending fire is far from sufficient. The gradual corrosion caused by the Abyss has resulted in a massive shortage of pyro energy. and we're currently at the breaking point as things stand. The pilgrimage is a lost cause. Suspending it allows us to save our strength to defend the tribes. The Abyss has brought catastrophe to Netland, and Kachina's disappearance in the Night Kingdom is a direct consequence of that.
We can't let the general public know that.
No. If the public learned that Natland's destruction was close at hand, there would be immense panic. But if I said nothing at all, they would have continued to question the integrity of Natland's heroes.
Another simple choice. The latter was clearly the better solution. But you chose otherwise.
I have never subscribed to the belief that the right choice is the one with the fewest sacrifices. Let's go. There's still a way for the sacred flame to last a little longer.
You mean?
Yes. The sacred flame must never go out. Not only does it strike fear in the Abyss, but it's also the pillar of Natland's stability. So until our heroes are ready, I will sacrifice my power to keep it burning.
But that can only last so long. I think we should focus on the
Don't let desperation cloud your judgment. Those chosen by the Wyab have already embarked on their destined path. It is for them to decide how that journey ends, not us. All we can do is support them.
Even so, for you to make this sacrifice...
If not me, then who? No other is capable of... I possess great strength, but I'm not above my people. This is part of my duty.
Archon, it's the Fatui!
The Archon of Netland. A force to be reckoned with. The secret of the ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Netland. But before the dawn of a new age, the old must be destroyed.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us? Let our blades do the talking! Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Are you alright, Archon?
He was a formidable opponent. Exactly what I would expect from the first of the Fatui Harbingers.
I never imagined someone could match you in combat. If the Tsaritsa sent him here, why would he bring up what happened 5 centuries ago?
Yeah. And how much does he know about Netland?
The Harbingers are all driven by their own personal goals. The only purpose that unites them is collecting the Gnosis, but I'm sure the captain has his own reasons for being here as well.
Whatever his motive, we should shift our focus to the Fatui. If they attack again, and we're not prepared,
No. We're running out of time. The wound I inflicted should hold him back and weaken him for the time being. Besides, I'm sure you noticed, the power that came to his rescue just now came from the Masters of the Night Wind.
In other words, there are traitors among us.
Not necessarily. This could prove to be a very valuable turn of events. When we exchanged final blows, I sensed an unusual presence within him. I'll need to investigate. Kanich, go to the Masters of the Night Wind and look into who could have aided the captain. Speak to Lali. She should know.
Of course, I'll head out right now. Do you still intend to...
Yes, but fear not. Natland's strength has never rested solely in its Archon. Together we foresaw the only path that leads to our nation's future. We must trust in that vision now.
Is everything okay, Ark?
Completely fine. Just lamenting the fact that I never got a picture when I could still turn my hair into flames. Too late now. I just hope the others have a safe journey.
What's happening at the stadium?
It feels like the Archon unleashed her power. She must...
Should we go back and check what's going...
Have faith in the Archon. She wouldn't lose in a one-on-one confrontation.
Once we find Kachina's ancient name, we'll head right...
Okay, let's just keep climbing. What can you tell us about the scions of the canopy?
The tribe's people are very adventurous.
Oh, kinda like us then!
I'm not so sure. You don't strike me as the type to enjoy danger. The scions of the canopy are a bunch of thrill seekers. They love extreme sports like rock climbing, rappelling, volcano parkour, or even bungee jumping without a rope while a Yunkasaur stands at the edge and uses its tongue to catch them. Sound like something you'd be interested in?
Okay, that does sound different from our usual adventures. Paimon's not doing any of that. She can just cheer you on from the sidelines.
It's Wyna, the tribal chief. Let's head over to him.
Chaska.
Nice to see you again, Wyna. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least tell me why you need it first.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient name and rescue her.
Rescue her? From the night...
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior would never make such a... The nature of battle is unpredictable.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wyna. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wyna? Life isn't complete without taking risks.
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking if you were up to the task. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather Clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts, so we slowly got to know each other that way. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe, too. She's helped us out a lot in the past.
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes. I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business. Wyna, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts. And the ancient name you seek is like a tiny fish swimming downstream. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river. But the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman, experienced enough to steer it in the right...
We couldn't do that ourselves.
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though, I could recommend someone.
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're fishing for a name, you're gonna want him on the boat.
Vichama? Why does...
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops. Follow the path that way, and I'm sure you'll find him.
Thank you. We'll go look for him there.
Good luck. I hope everything goes well.
Someone admiring the scenery from the... Hello there, are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something? What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How's that? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place. But...
Are you okay? You don't...
Everything's fine. I'll help. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to...
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that...
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your request.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we return the favor.
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living world. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood. So we have to be sure not to use it in a tribal settlement.
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented this. They must be a genius. I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need...
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them, so make sure you get a good amount.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible and one's not?
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something equally intangible, an ancient name.
Oh, I see. What about the second thing you need?
Right. I need two chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, we'll need a place to store them. Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes, but I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so maybe you can try your luck there.
Gotcha!
All right, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done. Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Linus...
I appreciate it, even though that doesn't mean much to me anymore. Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so no need to rush.
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Hang on, Kachina. We're coming for you. Hello. Do you have any hook ropes for sale?
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much for your whole stock?
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see.
Deal.
Wait.
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as possible.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn, Roka's the person you want to ask. All right. That's up.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though?
That might be tough. Tell you what.
Thank you so much.
Relax. Everything's going according.
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same way about his friend that I do about Kachina. I hope this chunk of obsidian isn't the only one. Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile of obsidian ready.
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. How does it look?
Perfect! Thank you.
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. I'll take 3,000 more for... Here you go. By the way, how's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years now. It's about time he started to move forward.
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night, but I don't know all the details. Bichama and Malco grew up together, and even made a name for themselves together. Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Vichama excelled at scouting and analyzing the battlefield. The two made an excellent team, and managed to beat back the Abyss several times. 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage, and were placed on the same team to fight the Abyss. But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Bichama suffered an injury to his leg while attempting to rescue someone.
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon, and she agreed to let him stay behind. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded anyone's expectations. The team made an error in judgment, and they fell to the onslaught. Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong, but because he wasn't able to do anything at all. I've tried convincing him to move forward, to stop dwelling on the past. But the shadow of Malco's death hangs over him still. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never heal. I wish there was something he could do to make himself feel better. But anyway, that's the gist of it. Maybe you could help him talk things through sometime. I would really appreciate it.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here.
I've made all the necessary adjustments. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name. Go ahead. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have... I've always blamed myself for what happened.
But that happened several years. The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the sea.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malco and I promised each other, even if we never managed to root out the Abyss for good, we would fight together. All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The Abyss will likely emerge in response.
Look at that golden thing! It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer! Whoa, monsters incoming! Watch out, everyone! Yeah! Speed of light! Yeah! Ready, steady, go! Incoming! Cut to the chase! Speed of light! Incoming! Nowhere to hide!
Oh, so sorry.
Be gone! Don't blink!
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long! We're getting close!
Vichama!
Quick! Take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is
The Abyss is corroding his body.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong.
this power.
Hanging in there?
Malco. No, what?
We can't wait any longer.
I already tried, but the power of the Abyss hasn't been—
In that case, we have no— Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now?
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion.
Give us a heads up next time, will you?
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poop.
Okay.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one— Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malco's ancient name. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew, and now... It's too...
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama?
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malco.
Not enough to swing a sword.
Too bad. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die. It's just hard thinking about my mom's face when she hears the...
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. They won't have to mourn me. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Maybe you're right. Vichama, I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing him, hearing his voice again, it makes me unbelievably happy. But it also brings with it
A deeper pain.
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking, and his smile was forced. For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of his life, he was thinking the same thing.
Vichama!
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wyna wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one step closer to but I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has regrets in life, but not everyone gets the chance to make up for them. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there were still things I could have done. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have fought alongside him to the end. There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no going back. That's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so I hope you can walk away without regret.
Thank you, Vichama. I promised I would find her, and I intend to...
That's good to hear.
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification, the corrosion can never be fully eradicated. Thanks to her, though, you are only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check. Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell Wyna the good news. Oh, and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that?
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wyna. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you. They're back.
Koichi?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo-saurs. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her will to live. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the Cuckoo Source. Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so Koichi was always taking her around, apologizing to everyone.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting one minute and your friend's the next. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. She's known as the Peacemaker. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting when they get older?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind, there's no changing it.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chaska even said that wasn't like you.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Better try now than live with regrets later. That's what I say. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to But a trip to the Night Kingdom?
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from—
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it!
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that!
All right, whatever. Anything?
You... What are you...
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or serious?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then... you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault.
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also...
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Netland, I need to display qualities that make me worthy of this nation.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wina prefers his roof attached to his house.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to...
Koichi!
So, you're really going to go?
Then support me. I'll be back.
So, that's it. Why'd you have...
You two are
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way, down to the very... It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact.
If only Tone-Gift Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like the holy—
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.